At Horizen, we're very focused on the end user, the customer, and we treat the customers like human beings. It doesn't make sense to call ourselves cash. Our vision it goes way beyond being a currency. We'll be layering in like smart contracting, tokenization, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff in a nice, safe, secure, scalable way.
I'm really excited to have Rob Vigliano, the co-founder of Horizen, formerly known as Zencash, on my show today. Thanks so much for joining me, Rob.
Thank you again for having me, Naomi. I think your viewers are going to be sick of me pretty soon.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled. So Horizen just became a sponsor of my show, which I'm thrilled about because, as you said, I've had you on my show twice before. I love the project. And so it's really great just having you as part of the show now. And you guys have just gone through a major rebranding as well. You were known as Zencash and you just changed that around. You're now Horizen. So let's talk about that a little bit because that's really exciting news.
Totally. I think so as well. I think this is one of the biggest things we've done in a little while because it doesn't make sense to call ourselves cash. Our vision it goes way beyond being a currency. And we're building out a platform. We're looking to do, a whole bunch of other technology things that bring in kind of a real world business ecosystem into this blockchain world. And it just stops making sense to keep referring to ourselves as Zencash. So Horizen is a really cool representation of always be on the technological horizon, the frontier, pushing boundaries, bringing people together. So and always trying to be like very innovative.
I really like that. I love that you managed to work in the Zen into your new model, because Zencash is a part of that model. You do have a currency as part of your new platform, but it is just one component, as you said.
Yeah, and then the cool thing is, so the coin is still just called Zen. So you drop the cash and you just call it Zen. And the ticker symbol is still ZEN, Zen, on all of the markets. So there was no kind of disruption there, which I think was really, really cool.
Last time I spoke to you, we were in New Orleans, and you guys have just had a 51% attack. And we've actually seen this with a bunch of different coins across the ecosystem. We always knew theoretically, it could happen, but we've started to see it, play out across different coins. You guys handled that really well, and you're actually about to roll out something that you told me about at that conference, which will make it impossible to do these 51% attacks.
Our scientists would say, don't say impossible. It's just much more costly. So it's like every time you try to do a 51% attack, you're basically rolling the dice. And it's like you're in a casino and it costs you money to roll these dice. And there's some chance you'll win and be able to steal money from an exchange. And there's a whole bunch of other chances you'll lose. We just upped the ante significantly where, you want to step up and try to roll the dice. It'll be very expensive now and very, very, very improbable for you to be able to pull it off.
So explain again to anyone who didn't see you in the last video, how does it work? You're creating penalties for anyone who delays block verification, is that right?
That's exactly right. So the 51% attacks, the way they happen is you have a malicious miner that goes mines a sequence of blocks in private. And by that, I mean, they don't report it to the network. And then they'll go and, deposit funds, say in some exchange. They'll trade the funds, pull the money out, and then they'll inject this fraudulent sequence of blocks that invalidated their original deposit into the blockchain. All we did was we impose a penalty now for delayed block reporting. So you measure the current block height, the most recent block, and any block that you try to report to the network that's at some distance behind the current block height, you get a penalty metric assigned to it. So each block in the sequence that you try to inject has a penalty. We sum them up. And the state of the blockchain says this is an invalid sequence because it has a penalty greater than 0. So we do have, one big concern here is, well, you could have an unintentional segmentation of your network. Say it splits and maybe it can't come back together again because there's a penalty. But we designed in there also, part of the algorithm, there's a decrement function in there. So as even if you have a kind of a mistaken penalty assigned to a block, you could, if it's valid, actually work down the penalty and have it merge with the main chain over time. So the good news is we've been working this internally for a month. We posted it on testnet, public testnet a few weeks ago. It's been running very successfully through a whole series of checks. Everything's looking awesome, and we're targeting adding it to our next deprecation cycle or our next software upgrade in 3 weeks.
Wow, 3 weeks time. That's pretty exciting. So I'll have to check back in with you then to see how it's running.
Well, what we really hope is this is sort of like, I mean, for sure it protects us and that's awesome, right? But it's like a public good as well. Like, and this is the kind of like my fascination with like capitalism and freedom and like people doing what's right. It may be like, we hope that our competitors take this code and upgrade their own software so that they're not vulnerable, because we view 51% attacks are really like a network externality. So if some other project gets 51% attacked, there's some exogenous event that affects the entire network, and we all suffer. So really, we hope that Bitcoin upgrades, every other kind of proof of work based blockchain uses the same technology, and we can just say goodbye to those little 51% threat. I can tell you what I'm focused on is, well, the 51% code, and then sidechains. I think the sidechains are the most exciting thing that we're working on, because it opens up a whole new, massive business use case for bringing real business value on chain in a very scalable way.
You do have a sidechain coming out in like a week or something?
We have the technical spec, so you'll be able to see what the model is in a week.
Tell me about what this sidechain is.
For sure, yeah. So what sidechains are is essentially you can run a whole separate blockchain that has kind of a standardized communication with the main chain. So really, you can build an entire like business ecosystem on a dedicated sidechain. Like we could have a real estate sidechain, we could have a healthcare sidechain, we could have like an IBM sidechain. If IBM wants to give up the whole blockchain business and just join us, they could do it. So really, the cool thing is our main chain now essentially could be like the main stratum or layer for this ecosystem. And now it could be like essentially like almost unbounded in its scalability, because now you can build entire ecosystems like that plug into ours in a standardized fashion. So what the sidechain is our technology is a standardized method for how you can essentially plug a sidechain into our main chain in a safe and secure way that adds value to both networks. So I think this is the cool thing is, rather than building everything in a siloed environment like we've been doing, like you've got a couple thousand different projects out there, and in some way they all kind of dilute, some dimension that they're trying to compete in. But at the same time, I think from a competitive perspective, you want as many competitors in the world trying as many different things as possible. So I'll never say competition's bad, but what I think would be good, like a nice combination, is if we start working together in some areas. So we have some potential business partners that they're building out certain blockchain technologies, different app environments, but to them, it may not make sense to run their entire blockchain ecosystem from scratch. So they can plug it into our 20,000 plus nodes right away. And immediately they get the security of 20 plus thousand nodes acting as certifying agents for their sidechain. So they don't have to build out this massive node network. They can just leverage ours. So I think this is the most exciting thing. So we'll be layering in like smart contracting, tokenization, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff in a nice, safe, secure, scalable way.
That's really exciting. I mean, talking about the competition and talking about actually joining forces, that seems pretty cool. Like you see what happened when Elon Musk and Peter Thiel got together, and then this PayPal behemoth was born. When I first interviewed you, we talked about your messaging system. I billed it as the most secure messaging system in the world. And
then we get a 51% attack, right?
Yeah. But the messages were also secure, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let me just say that all of your coins, all of your messages, everything that was yours on the blockchain was fully secure, and no one can 51% attack any of your data or your money. So all a 51% attack is someone stole money from an exchange.
You still have this messaging system that you're working on. And how has that been going? Because I would love to do a test run of that. I think everyone, like more and more so, are looking for secure ways to communicate. It's getting crazy out there, Rob.
I'm so excited for sidechains, and we have so many resources going in certain directions. Sometimes I forget that so many people really want the secure messaging. Like we built this, it's a minimum viable product, an MVP product that it can do what it's supposed to do. It can send us a super secure message using ZK snarks or zero knowledge cryptography from one sender to another, from a sender to a group. You can different combinations, and it's all very secure. But the reality is it's clunky. It's an MVP app that uses snarks, and snarks in the current technology state require like a 30-second computation time on any reasonable modern laptop. So you're not going to have like a chat conversation like you would with someone on WhatsApp. But if you need to send someone a provably secure message, say you're kind of like you're a journalist in Syria, or you're in some other repressed environment, you now have a way to safely and securely send a message to anyone anyone who uses the app in the world.
Now, if I were to download the Horizen client, how easy is it for someone like me to figure it out? Like, are there tutorials out there, or should I be making a tutorial for people?
Well, we could always use you having tutorials. That would be awesome.
All right, well, I'm going to do that. That's going to be a project.
People would much rather watch you than like having like me or the other guys.
I'll do that, and then whoever wants to send me secure messages, I will let them know how to contact me, but only through the Horizen client. So that's
yes, exactly. So right. And of course, we have documentation online. At Horizen, we're very focused on the end user, the customer, and we treat the customers like human beings, which is kind of weird for this industry. You know, like we're starting to pioneer this. We set up a 24/7 help desk. So, you know, the thing is, these things are kind of intuitive and obvious in other industries, but this is such a new industry that some of the enthusiasts that go in here and launch these ventures, I mean, Bitcoin doesn't have a support desk. I mean, who would even think about doing that, right? But if you think about it, like we're dealing with real money, with things that are very sensitive, and imagine how much you would freak out if, say, like you lost $1,000 worth of Zen on your app. Well, we actually have human beings that you can talk to, and I think that's a really important thing for us.
Maybe I'm going to do my entire tutorial on live chat with your support team, saying, so what's my next step? And then I can give you an evaluation on how good your support team actually is.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So you're currently in the Milan office, which is pretty exciting. I really appreciate you chatting with me all the way from Europe, taking the time to explain this awesome new branding. I have to tell you, so last time I did an interview with you, I hashtagged Zencash, and then I misspelled it Zencash, and my followers have been giving me flack since then. And so I think that Zencash was like trending on my wall for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering now if they'll have to be tagging Horizen or something.
Horizen.
I'm not going to make that mistake.
Keep an eye out for it.
Absolutely. So I'm really grateful for you to be here. I'm going to make sure I get the hashtag correct. And where can people go if they want to find out more about Horizen and all the things that you guys are offering?
Okay, the number one stop is horizen.global. Go to the website. But I've been on a kick recently. I want more Telegram channel users. So if at all you're into Telegram and you want to come in, see the underground chat for the community and the team, come join our Telegram channel. And you can find that on our website as well. And then of course we're in Discord.
So Telegram, so I have a room that, again, my followers set up for me called the Pink Pillow. I don't know that name. Maybe I'll rebrand to Horizen Pillow. I don't know. I got nothing. But if you come there and send your link, then I'll send like a bunch of people over there so we can check it out and come.
Nice. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm on a mission. We need like to 10x our Telegram followers.
All right, let's do it. We've got this. This is a mission. And you guys are on Discord as well, and all those details are on your website.
Exactly. So website is one-stop shop.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, Rob. It sounds super exciting, all the things that you guys are doing at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you, Naomi. Always a pleasure.
If you like my channel, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. I also have a Patreon account and wanted to give a special shout out to all the awesome people there. And a huge thank you to the sponsors of the show for making these videos possible. Thanks so much for watching.
She used to just party, go all the way.